All right, let's dive into 3 school lockdown stories, sure to send chills down your spine. It was a typical Friday afternoon in calculus class, and the excitement of spring break was palpable. Unlike many of my friends who had tests that day, our laid-back teacher decided to let us relax and play some card games. As we were engaged in a game of spades, I vividly remember the moment everything changed. Right after my friend slammed his card down and said, "Spades," the dean's voice crackled over the loudspeaker, sounding panicked as he instructed all teachers to go into lockdown. Chills ran down my spine as our usually calm teacher rushed to turn off the lights and ushered us into the back corner of the room. We sat in silence for about 2 minutes until the buzzing from a panel in the back ceased, suggesting the school had cut the power. We exchanged worried glances, realizing the seriousness of the situation. After a few more tense minutes, we heard a man screaming in the hallway. 2 girls began to cry, heightening our fear. The man's shouts grew louder as he banged on the lockers, yelling, "I'll kill all of you." At that moment, I felt a deep fear for my life. Our teacher shushed us as we looked at each other, gauging our peers' reactions. The banging moved to our classroom door, and one of the crying girls screamed, "No!" The pounding intensified as the man shouted, "Open up!" Now, 2 girls were crying openly. It felt like an eternity as he pounded on the door, but eventually he moved on, screaming down the hallway until he was out of earshot. About 10 minutes later, though it felt like half an hour, the dean returned to the loudspeaker. He explained that a mentally unstable person had entered the building and assaulted the woman at the front desk, causing her to flee, screaming. The staff was unsure if the man was armed. At that time, our school lacked cameras and proper security, making it vulnerable to such incidents. The staff conducted a sweep of the hallways and classrooms but couldn't find him. The dean instructed teachers to resume their lessons but to keep all doors locked and not let any students leave for any reason. The most disturbing part came later. A janitor on the night shift found the man sleeping in a storage closet near the back of the school. According to rumors, a .44 Magnum was sticking out of his pocket. The janitor must have startled him, perhaps by leaving the closet door open, because by the time the police arrived, the man was gone. To this day, my class has no idea if he was ever found, but I like to think he is getting the help he needs. My school had 2 lunch periods, the first for all 6th graders and some 7th graders, and the second for the remaining 7th graders and all 8th graders. The lockdown occurred in early October on an overcast, rainy day. During the first lunch period, I heard 4 loud booms. Initially, I thought it was thunder, but the entire lunch crowd erupted in screams. I thought they were overreacting, but campus security soon came in, shouting for everyone to go to the multi-purpose room. Kids in line had to abandon their lunches. My friends and I rushed into the multi-purpose room, which was filled with a large group of students. Everyone was anxious to know what was happening. The multi-purpose room has a large back wall made of glass, and when we entered, security was covering it with curtains, placing adults at every exit. My friend Eric, curious like the rest of us, asked one of the adults what was going on. When he returned, he said, "You know those houses in front of TMS? There's a mentally unstable man barricaded in his house, threatening to commit suicide and harm the police if they try to evict him. He was watching kids outside in a strange way." It turned out the man was also a registered sex offender, which made the situation even worse. We remained in the multi-purpose room for an hour, missing 2 periods. After the situation was resolved, we were escorted back to our classrooms one by one. I later learned that the man lived next to my friend Brandy, who recounted a previous Halloween when she saw him at his window, cutting his arm and writing, "Don't come here or I'll kill you," in his own blood. At the time, people thought it was just a Halloween stunt. But after this incident, we realized the man was truly disturbed, and we were relieved he never got close to us. Now, at 22 years old and fresh out of college, I recently started a job at my old high school as a computer intern in the messy and disorganized basement. There, I found a small, well-equipped office with 3 desks, 2 mini fridges, a flat-screen TV, and air conditioning, a luxury not available to students or teachers. I got this job thanks to 3 of my former computer teachers who became real friends and helped me secure the position. Everything was going well until a few weeks ago. My co-workers, Dave and Gary, were upstairs working on papers while I was having lunch in the office. I received a call from a woman in the front office informing me that the school was on lockdown due to the possibility of an armed intruder. With no door to my office and the basement door lacking a working lock, I turned off the lights for my safety and texted Dave and Gary, but they didn't respond. I sat in the dark playing games on my phone for about 20 minutes, unsure of what was happening upstairs. Suddenly, I heard the basement door creak open, and someone came rushing down the stairs. I instinctively crawled under my desk, my heart racing with fear. The person entered the office but didn't turn on the lights. I felt paralyzed by fear, convinced that any noise would be fatal. Just then, my phone dinged with a text message, causing me to panic even more. Footsteps approached until I finally dove out from under the desk, begging whoever it was not to kill me. To my surprise, it was a man in a red plaid shirt, jeans, and a reddish-black cap. He told me, "Hey, I'm just hiding down here with you. What's going on up there?" I whispered my question, but he ignored it, asking if there was an exit. I pointed him in the direction, then asked who he was. He explained that he had come to pick up his son when a teacher told him to hide. I checked my phone and saw a text from Dave. "Dude, this is crazy. Some guy with a gun shot Mr. Buckley. He's wearing a red shirt and hat. Whatever you do, don't come upstairs." Before I could read that text aloud, I looked up and felt my stomach drop. The man noticed my suspicious stare, and in a panic, I bolted for the stairs. A gunshot rang through the basement, and I heard the bullet ricochet off something metal. Thankfully, I made it upstairs, where police were waiting at all exits, capturing the man as soon as he opened the door. Fortunately, Mr. Buckley survived the gunshot. It was later revealed that he and the assailant had some sort of conflict, though the details were never disclosed. All we knew was that Mr. Buckley had done nothing to deserve such a violent reaction. The sound of that gunshot will echo in my mind forever.